Good morning and welcome to our weekly App State football press conference with head coach Dowell Loggains. The Mountaineers travel to James Madison for a 3:30 Saturday game, and Coach Loggains will give us an opening statement, then we'll take questions from media.
All right, thank you guys for being here and covering our team. Obviously disappointed after the game. 3 weeks in a row we've lost tough games, about one score, and the last two haven't started the way we wanted to start. So deep dive after action report on how to start faster that way. After 3 weeks against Coastal started the way we wanted to, scored 4 out of our first 5 drives, and then the last 2 weeks offensively haven't started the way we needed to defensively. 3 plays allowed them to go down the field and score early, and kind of it just the momentum gets out of whack when it happens like that. So I thought our guys, what I love is our guys respond the right way. They 2 weeks in a row have been down, and it talks about our culture and what we're building. And they come back and they fight and they believe in each other. This is a different team than it was 8 weeks ago, as far as they've started to become better teammates and rely on each other and play hard for each other. And we got to find ways to start faster and eliminate the ways we're losing games, so we can give ourselves a chance to win these one-score games. And I believe that those wins are coming. And obviously we got a very skilled opponent this week, a top 25 opponent that we get to go to their place and play, so it'll be a great challenge. I think it's the most complete roster that we faced this year, just top to bottom, even in my opinion better than Boise, and so we're really excited about this challenge and looking forward as we start prep today.
David Ware, 24/7 Sports. Dallas, you went back and watched the film. Were there any milestones that kind of jumped out at you that maybe weren't readily apparent at field level that day?
Yeah, David, it's a really good question. I think that the thing that pops off, and I mentioned earlier, is just the fight, the belief in each other, the belief in the culture. I thought the coaching staff did a lot better job in the second half making adjustments than we did preparing in the first half. And I think it showed. Our guys played a little bit more free, and we were more aggressive on both sides of the ball in that way. So from milestones, I thought that we're getting better. It's not the rate that we want. The results aren't there yet. Sometimes these things happen slower than we want them to, but I love the way the effort our kids play with. Each guy's getting better individually, and we just got to become a better team. And it starts with the preparation. And today's gonna be the most important day of the week for us, and we're gonna dive in on this a very good opponent. But from a milestone standpoint, I like the effort. I like the way they respond. And I think that's really important when you're building a culture that wants to win right now, and not like you can talk about, hey, this year and next year and all those other things, but like you want to see things that you want to see belief, you want to see effort, and you want to see buy-in, and then that's what you see with that. Those are the milestones that matter the most after a game like that.
Watching Marshall and JMU on Saturday, Marshall did something that really nobody's done to JMU all season. They ran the ball on them, almost 250 yards, almost 5 yards a carry. And they were within a few points late in that game. I think the score is a little bit deceptive if you didn't see what happened. As you guys went back and have kind of studied that, what was it that Marshall was doing that made them successful where everyone else has failed against JMU?
Yeah, Georgia State played them really close as well. I mean, it was a 14-7 game. They didn't run the ball, to your point, like Marshall did. Marshall does have an athletic quarterback, which I think that helps you run in games like this. JMU is really skilled on the defensive line, good size. Linebackers are really good players. These guys are good players. They're older. They recognize stuff. They get off blocks. The block disengages very well. But I also think Marshall's a really good football team as well, and getting better. And I think their head coach's personality comes out in the run game with that stuff. So, I think that they had a good plan with their athletic quarterback.
Turning to the defensive side of the ball, you guys really blended a lot of the 4-man, 3-man looks on Saturday.
Yeah.
As you've studied JMU, is that going to continue, or is there one particular set you think works better there?
Yeah, it'll always be part of the package. We jumped in this 3-down thing a couple weeks ago versus ODU, and we felt like it helped us, would give us the ability to help us win that game. And you treat each game differently. We're still early in the prep. Today's a walkthrough. Tomorrow's really the first practice day. So that will always be part of what we do going forward throughout the season. We still need to add some pitches to it and do some different things with it. I thought we did a better job last week. We jumped into our 4-down stuff and rushed the passer, and especially in the second half, and had the hits on the quarterback and the pressures that way. So it's really about what's going to help us win this game individually, and we'll have both packages up this week.
Ella Snap, Appalachian Weekly News. Coach, you always talk about how the next step is the most important, the next game is the most important.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you're going to do in practice to ensure that the execution follows through in this game versus JMU?
Yeah, it's a really good question. We're looking at different things. Do we start with just to get the how do you say, hey, we want to start faster than we did the last 2 weeks? So do we start with fastball starts, 2-minute starts, a 2-minute do competition period at the first of practice to change? Because you can't sit here and do the same thing. Like, I believe in our process, and I believe how we practice. But you're also looking for ways to just get a better energy at practice. And I like the way we practice. And I think it showed more in the second half than it did the first half last week. But it's also, understanding each individual player and continue to motivate that player to in these big games, these big conference games, and helping these guys. Like, we got to teach these guys how to win as well. And I would hope that my hope would be for the second half to give us confidence. When you play free, when you play aggressive, that it gives you a better chance to win. And a cluttered mind is not focused on victory. So I think that you got to take these little things that happen, and even in losing, when it's really hard, I hate to lose. And we're trying to build a culture around here where you hate losing more than you enjoy winning. And we're not there yet, but that's the culture we're trying to create. And so you take these pieces and you say, hey, look, this is what it can be like. This is what it looks like. I showed a clip to the team on Friday because we brought them in afterwards, and we were reviewing the game, and you're watching the excitement when we start coming back. And all of a sudden it's 16-22 and we score, and Trigg hits that long touchdown run. But you can see everyone on the team is excited and they're into it. And it's like you're trying to create that energy all the time. Like, how do we become self-starters? How do we become guys that bring energy all the time? What does that look like? And so these small successes and these hey, you got the ability to do it when you play the second half. If you look at, well, it was the first time I think all year we've won the fourth quarter. And so 2 weeks in a row. So you're trying to you're trying to teach these guys, like, hey, what it looks like when you're at your best and how you play with energy all the time. So we're looking at different ways to practice and motivate these guys as far as just starting fast. And motivation is probably the wrong way, but confidence. Give some of these guys confidence to play free and aggressive.
And speaking on that energy, I know you've talked about how the student section and how the fans, that culture is so helpful. In the second half of the game, they kind of started filtering out. How important is it to have those people stay in these home games that we have for the rest of the season?
Oh, it's important, but it's also how important it is for us to play better in the first half to give them a reason to stay. So it goes both ways. We need them. And they almost missed a heck of a comeback. And I want them to say, my hope for them is, hey, our guys are going to play the right way, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to play hard for 60 minutes. And I don't want to ever be counted out of a game because 2 weeks in a row we've proved that this team has heart. It has character. But it's also we need to start faster, so you got to give people a reason to stay. And just as the same thing as they're building their faith in this football team, we got to help give them reasons to stay as well because it did start as a good crowd. And as a coach, I don't notice the second half crowd as much as I'm focused on the game. But I know early in that game, and it's hard too because the way it started, they take the ball and they go down and score in 3 plays. But there were moments for the first time all season that even in my headset, I only have one ear. Like I was having to cover my ear to hear, and it was loud. And there were some false starts and stuff. So credit to our student section, our fans for showing up. And we understand also it's a production business, and we need to give you a reason to stay. It's also we are in the business, unfortunately, of entertainment as well.
All right, and then finally, just pushing forward towards JMU, is there anything about this game that scares you?
Scares me. I'm only scared of the IRS, cancer, sharks, and snakes. But that was a Coach Parcells line. Not scares me. It's you look at this game as look, and it's the same message we tell our players, like we have nothing to lose. We're 20-point underdogs. We're 20-point underdogs going on the road playing a top 25 opponent, and we lost 3 games in a row. But that's what I would tell, for us, we get to go play free. Like, this should be how we started the game, how we finished the game last week. It should be about us getting better, us playing with fanatical effort. And there's a belief that, and around here, like, this wouldn't be the first upset that we've ever had around here. And I think you pull on all of that stuff, and you're looking for different ways to motivate and stuff. Like, we need to play better, and we need to play clean. We're not scared of anyone. We're trying to build the mentality of anytime, anywhere. We're not where we need to be. And right now, those are just words. But we're going to get this place to where it needs to be, and it needs to happen sooner than later. And we're in the mindset of today is the most important day. We need to have a great walkthrough, and practice tomorrow needs to be awesome because that's the only way you go beat a really talented team.
When you look at JMU's defense, whether it's scheme, personnel, both, as much as you're comfortable, what stands out about that group?
Yeah, very well coached, very talented, played together for a while. I think they've done a good job recruiting. We're studying rosters and what wins and what loses and all those things. And there's winning leaves clues, and so does losing. And they've done some good things, evaluation piece, but they're well coached and they're talented. Like, they're going to create problems. They're also fearless. Like, they don't mind. They're going to be zeros in the field and things like that because it's almost a competitive arrogance a little bit about them. They know they're good, and they take risk because they know they're good.
And then just flipping to the offense, when they're performing well at a high level, what are they doing well that allows them to do that?
Yeah, they run the football really well, and they're averaging a lot of yards per game. They've got an athletic quarterback. They've bounced back and forth between the two quarterbacks, but they've got the athletic quarterback. The backs are good players, and they've got the team speed is really good as well.
Now, just building off a little bit of what you said about the energy to start the game. You said they came out and played really more freely in the second half on Saturday. Did you feel like, was it maybe over-preparedness that maybe when it got in their heads and kind of took away from the moment of energy?
Yeah, I think it was more of us. It was little things. It's like setting the edge of the defense. Like, they go down and give up 3 plays and allow a team to score. Well, that's deflating for everyone. It's deflating for the crowd, the team. And you got to respond the right way. Our message is respond faster. Like, go to the next play faster, and don't hey, it's 7-0. It doesn't matter how it happened. Like, set the edge of the defense, get in phase on the go route. Don't let people get behind you. And we were worried about their team speed, and the way we matched up that way. And then I think that it's a game they kind of settled down and kind of built some confidence off that. So I don't think it was over prepared. I don't know if you can be over-prepared, but I think it was of us more just doing our job, set the edge of the defense, put your eyes where they're supposed to be, get aligned in your stance a little bit faster. And there was, to me, it was a little bit of like feeling it out process too much instead of being aggressive.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Appreciate you guys.